Hi, good evening for another Wednesday night of magic with the Open Mic Magic Show. Hi to those of us in the gallery, and hi to all of us watching on Facebook Live at the moment, and those who will be watching in the past on YouTube. So we've got a fantastic night, as always, lined up for you tonight, and I'll move straight into our first performer, all the way from the Isle of Man. Welcome, Michael Kelly. Hi there, Michael.
Hello, Kevin. Thank you for having me. Here's a turn up for the books. Is that Kelly fellow telling you a story to begin with? So at least you know whatever follows afterwards is going to be more cheerful than this. Actually, I want to tell you a story this week from my own past. Now, I'm afraid it doesn't reflect very well on me, but I was young at the time. I guess that's my defense. And I guess I was about 6 years old. It was just after Christmas. And we often used to go and visit my two cousins, two girls who lived out in the country. And this particular Christmas, they both received identical presents from their parents, two dolls. Now, of course, they weren't really identical. Well, looking back in the early 1970s, so these things used to be hand painted and there were always differences between them. And in many ways, that made them even more disturbing than they already were, because believe me, these dolls really freaked me out. I mean, at a deep level. I just couldn't handle the way that they were staring at me as we sat there in their bedroom. There was me, my brothers, my two cousins, all playing with their toys, and these two dolls just staring. They had china heads and limbs and a kind of fabric body. And I suppose you could say I was obsessed, disturbed and obsessed. And they had a very long garden, a large yard which went all the way down to the fields at the back of the house. And when they all went outside to play, I stayed where I was. Now, I'm not really a vandal. I don't go around damaging other people's property, but as I say, I was young at the time. And I thought it was my duty to save my cousins from these dolls. I couldn't bear the thought of them being in the room. So when everyone else had gone out, I decided I'd destroy the two dolls. Well, I didn't get very far. I was only 6 years old. I managed to tear the leg off Janet's doll, but that was as far as I got. It just came away as the fabric ripped. And I didn't have the strength to damage them any more than that, so I was racking my brains. What could I do? I'd angered them now, and I had to save my cousins. I know. What do they always do when I'm watching a film or something to punish the bad guys? They hang them. So I decided I would hang the two dolls. And I took them, I crept out, I went down the other side of the garden to the fence at the bottom, and I hung these two dolls on the barbed wire fence. You can imagine the hiding I got, but actually I forgot about this for many years afterwards. I was only reminded of it when I was in my early 20s and I moved out of home and into my first flat. And I'd been there a couple of days and there was a little cubby hole at floor level, and I just decided to have a poke around in to see what was in there. There were some pipes, a few old newspapers, and a china doll's leg, which was peculiar. Now, I'm not for one moment saying it was the same china doll's leg. That would be silly, wouldn't it? But it certainly got me thinking, and it brought this memory flooding back to me. And I asked my mother about it. I said, did this really happened? Am I remembering right? She said, oh yes, she said, it happened. We had to replace that doll that you tore the leg off. And she said she even had a photograph of it. And the next time I visited her, she pulled the photograph out and I scanned it and I've cleaned it up a bit. And here it is. Now, when you see this, you'll be able to see why these dolls freaked me out the way they did. And as you can see, Janet has a leg missing and they're hanging on the barbed wire fence at the bottom of the garden. So I thought no more of it. Whoops, the things we do as kids, eh? A couple of years later, I moved into another flat. I'd been there a couple of days, and on top of the wardrobe, which had come as part of the furniture, I found a china doll's leg. I was a little bit more disturbed by it this time, and it went straight in the rubbish. Years passed. When we moved into this cottage where we live now, as soon as I had a look in the roof space, there's a China's doll's leg. This thing's been haunting me, and I've kept this one. There it is. It's still got frayed bits of fabric across the top where it was attached. So I've got no option but to think that I'm being haunted by an angry doll that I damaged as a 6-year-old. And if it can intrude in my life like this, and if it can get inside my head like this, maybe it can get inside yours too. Can I have a happy and willing volunteer, please? Or one who's dragged on kicking and screaming, it doesn't really matter which. Bill! You know, here's that photograph again. Janet gave her doll a name, and I've written 4 options on the back for you. You may not be able to see them well on Zoom, but they're Annie, Charlotte, Mary, or Emma. There's the leg, Bill.
Emma.
You think it's Emma? Well, let's see, because inside this envelope, there's another envelope. And inside this envelope, there's another envelope. And inside this envelope, there's a little business card with the doll's name on it. Emma. Looks like she's got you too, Bill. Thanks very much.
Yeah. I just hope I never find a doll's leg around the house. It's very, very worrying. Thank you, Michael. Another fantastic spooky story from you, the master of his art. Thanks, Michael. Okay, moving on rapidly to, I think this gentleman resides in the sort of Scarborough area of the UK. So would you like to come in and show us some magic, Andy Russell? Hi there, Andy.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Is Jill about to use this evening?
So who are we after?
Jill.
Jill, I think Tommy should be able to find Jill. Or if Tommy can't, I can. Let's just wait for... I've got her, Tommy, if you want. Oh, you've done it. Wonderful. Thank you, Tommy.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, Jill. How are you tonight?
I'm fine, thank you. I've been in the
Excellent.
garden all day.
Pardon?
I've been in the garden all day.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. Life's problems. This is what this is all about. Life's problems, we all have them. Okay. And the best way to get over life's problems is to immerse yourself in hobbies, such as gardening, for example. I myself, I do art, music, and magic. And this is a great way for me to escape. So that being said, I want to show you something with a pack of cards tonight, just because there's not enough card tricks on here. Okay, now one thing magicians love doing is finding the 4 aces from a shuffle pack. So Jill, would you like me to find the red aces or the black ones?
Red ones.
The red ones. Just a little snap of my fingers. That should give us a black ace. But look, not only that, it has a red back. In the industry, that's called a bad joke, right? So I'm going to try and find you the twin to that. So it'd be the ace of spades, which is just there. But you said you wanted the red aces, right? So I'll try and fulfill that promise for you and find them at the same time. Now, that's weird because these are the 2 black ones. Because on the table is your 2 red aces, which is quite odd. Now, during coronavirus, one thing I learned to do is read tarot cards, as you know, probably. But this isn't what I'm going to do tonight for you. I'm going to have the aces reveal to me a card that you're going to pick. So if you can just say stop for me anytime you like.
Stop.
There? Excellent. And then I'm just going to turn away. If you just get a look at that card, can you see that okay?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. And we'll drop it back in. Okay, so these 4 aces will hopefully reveal to me the card that you've gone for. Now, if you're unaware of cards, they've made of 4 suits, such as the clubs, the spade, the diamond, and the ace of hearts. We don't need the others. And then what I'm going to do is I'd cast each one over your hand one at a time. So if you was here, you could mix these up as much as you like. Now, imagine holding your hand out, and that card there, that tells me absolutely nothing. The second one will tell me the colour of the card you picked. So that tells me your card must have been red. The second card, that tells me the suit. Oh, so the ace of hearts tells me you must have picked a heart card, which is quite weird. The next card tells me you must have picked not the ace of hearts, but the last card tells me you must have picked a 7 of hearts. Is that right?
It was, yeah.
Now, if you was here, can you wiggle your fingers like that for me, just thinking about your 7? Because if I just show you now, we don't have aces, but in fact, all 4 7s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it only uses just the 4 cards, which is quite weird in itself. Now I'm going to show you one last thing, because as we go through life, it can be a matter of complications, things getting completely messed up and muddled up, as you know, such as these playing cards all over the place. And if you was here, you could shuffle these yourself as well. Some cards up and down. Now, one way we can deal with this, let me just break these into 2 piles. That should be about right. So we've got a pile there mixed up. And also a pile here completely mixed up. Okay. Now, the thing with life is it takes a bit of sorting out. So, for example, like these cards, you'd have to turn them over one at a time, such as his life's problems. You'd have to take each problem and deal with them till you've got some sort of sanity going on in your mind. So once you feel like they're all sorted out, other areas of your life might seem a bit muddled up. But if you don't do nothing about them, sometimes they just end up sorting themselves out anyway. But the ones that you thought you had sorted out, this is the weird thing, is then it's back being completely muddled again. So my advice is just, if anyone has problems, just deal with them one at a time instead of having to tackle everything at the same time. And hopefully things will work out much better for you guys in the future. Anyway, thanks for your help, Jill.
Thank you. Good advice.
Lovely. Thank you. And back to you, Kev.
Excellent stuff, Andy. Andy, who's recently become a member of the world famous Magic Circle, and deservedly so. Fantastic routine. Thank you. Thanks, Andy. Terrific. Okay, right. From sort of the north-ish of the UK over the Atlantic to the south-ish of the USA, Texas, where our next performer hails from. Welcome the classic magic of Robina. Hi there, Robina. Thanks, Robin. Thanks, Robin. Lovely stuff. So we're sticking around in the US of A and moving down to my good friend Bruce. Hi there, Bruce Yoskin. Come on, show us some magic.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, everyone else. I have a question, especially for you card performers. How many of you have ever noticed that the Joker in a pack of cards seems to get such little respect? It's as though it's the Rodney Dangerfield of a pack of cards. How many times have you seen a magician go through the cards like this and say, oh, let me get rid of that Joker. We don't want that in there. Let me get rid of it. Or worse, they'll start a card trick. Well, they'll say, well, I'm going to get rid of the Jokers. We don't want the Jokers in here. They're bad. So I feel badly for them. I feel as though Jokers need to be celebrated, and that's what I do. So check this out. I had planned to use a different camera for this, but it's not working out. So I'm just going to put this down here like that. I hope you can see that. I use some regular Jokers. I have an Ace of Spades, and I call this Ace of Spades my magic wand card. It's because I don't really have anything else to call it, really. I haven't come up with anything that clever yet. And then there's some special Jokers over here. Is this too glary? Can this be seen okay?
You're
Kevin?
fine. You're fine.
Okay. Okay. So these last Jokers they're quite special, and I'll show you that in a minute. The first Jokers, what I call the regular Jokers, they're the red back Jokers. And here's why I call this the magic wand card. When you touch the red back Joker to the magic wand card like that, all of the Jokers remaining in the pack turn face down. Now, the Jokers under the aces have red backs, as I said. I'm going to switch a red back ace. I'm going to put this in my pocket. You can't see that, but trust me, that's where it's going. I'm going to switch the red back ace for this one over here, which has a blue back. Now, it didn't turn blue. Okay, this is from a different deck of cards, and I put it here. It has a blue back. Now, but watch, when that blue back card hits the ace, as before, all of those Jokers change colors. Let's put that over here. Let's try the same thing. I'm going to take this card, put it in my pocket. I'll use the magic wand card to turn over yet another one. This one happens to be a green one. It was green all along. Nothing mystifying there. Take the green one, touch it to the ace, and then the remaining Jokers are all green back. Try that one more time. Put this in my pocket. One more card from the table. This one is purple. I don't call it purple. I call it what my children used to call purple when they were little kids. They couldn't say purple, they said praple. So from now on, if you see that card from me, it's probably praple. But the same thing happens as before. We have all those praple back cards. Let me get rid of this. And it occurs to me that I haven't shown you the back of the ace. Well, the back of the ace is yet a different color. It's not the praple, it's not the red, it's not the green, it's not the blue, but it's orange. Now, the orange card doesn't change the other Jokers to another color, but it allows the other Jokers to remain where they are and show a nice rainbow. But if you take that ace of spades and rub it across the Jokers here, what does it do to the faces? We now have an ace, a king, queen, jack, and a 10 of spades. Now for this next, if I could have a helper, and if Jill's out there, I think I would enjoy doing this with her. Jill?
Hopefully Tommy will find Jill for us.
Oh, okay.
Give him a second. There we go. Hi, Jill.
But there we go. Jill, how are you?
I'm absolutely fine.
Good. What did you plant today?
I didn't actually do any planting.
Oh,
I did a bit of pruning and tidying, and mostly I just sat in the sun.
Sounds like fun. So here's what we're going to do. It's no heavy lifting here. I'm just going to ask you to cut the cards into thirds, okay? We'll cut the first one about a third down. I realize it's difficult to see across the pond doing this, but estimate when you think I've been to about a third down and say stop.
Stop.
Excellent. All right, that leaves 2/3. Let's just cut these in half. So when you think I'm in half, say stop.
Stop.
There we go. Now, 3 piles, 3 different cards. Check them out. 8 of spades, the 5 of hearts, and the 3 of clubs. I'm going to use those 3 cards and the rest of the deck. I'm going to like to do a little cartomancy to start, if I could. That's fortune telling with cards. And as I look at these cards, Jill, and I look at you, what do I see? I see the 8 of spades. A spade tells me that you're not afraid of hard work and you're ready to go out there and in the garden, prune things, till the soil, get it ready. And I know you're going to plant many beautiful bushes and flowers, right?
I have.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Over on this side, the 3 of clubs, that tells me that you're a very gregarious person. You like to be in organizations, clubs, as it were. Perhaps you're involved in a church group or a school group or something like that. And the 5 of hearts, well, what can I say about the heart? The heart says you're a person who's a lover. You wear your heart and your love on your sleeve. And I think that's wonderful. What else does it tell us? Well, if we look at those numbers again and perhaps add them up, let's go 8 and 5 are 13 and 3 are 16. Check out the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I always like to stop at 10 for a dramatic pause. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is the 16th card that arrived here as a result of the selections that you made as I riffled through the cards. You stopped me in 3 different piles. So we'll just put that there for a minute. Now, if we had stopped earlier, your card would be here. If we had stopped later, your card would be here, or perhaps even here. And the first thing you're thinking, of course, is, well, what card? I didn't choose a card. Well, I didn't say you choose a card, but at the very beginning of this, you'll remember I said, have you ever noticed how little respect the jokers get? And in the 16th position was the joker.
Oh,
Jill,
wonderful.
thank you very much for your help. Kevin, thanks for having me, and back to you.
Thank you.
Unmute. There we go. Unmute. Excellent. Thank you ever so much. That was fantastic, Bruce. Right. From the US of A, back to sort of the middle of the north, or the north of the middle, or something like that, to our friend Roy Stone, who is going to decided to become a TikTok star. So so he sent us a video of what he's been doing on TikTok. So I'm going to play that in now. So here we go. Roy Stone.
What we're going to do, we're going to test the power of the mind using telekinesis. Telekinesis is the ability to move things or make things happen with the mind. So first, what we're going to do, we're going to, as you can see, there's nothing in my hands, no rings, nothing in my hand. We're going to try and make the nut. Here we go. Zoom in. The nut move on the bolt. Okay, we'll show that again. So there's no funny stuff. I'll hold it at the ends. Just using the power of my mind, I can move it. But let's try it hands free. So not even touching the nut and bolt. Just using a pair of tweezers. We're going to hold the nut and bolt in the tweezers. And again, try and move the nut. Try and move the nut on the bolt. Okay, just show you one more time. Not even touching the nut this time. Holding it in a pair of tweezers, hands off. And still, I can make the nut move up the bolt. Let's try one final experiment, okay? This time, we'll just stand it on top of a regular poker chip. So we're just going to put it on top of a regular poker chip. And again, see if we can move it. So we're going to put it on top of the chip. Balancing it is the hard part. Okay. Try and move it on top of the poker chip. It's just a regular poker chip. That's using telekinesis, the power of your mind to influence objects. There you go. Oh. And I can tell it start, move, stop. Telekinesis, the power of the mind. Hello, welcome to Telekinesis Part 2. Well, some people have said, because I'm touching the nut and bolt, even though I did it with tweezers, that I'm influencing it somehow. So what I've done here, a little bit, put a nut and bolt on a piece of elastic. So it's totally hands-free this time. I really am influencing it with my mind. If you watch, even though I'm not touching the nut and bolt, it's still using my mind. I can use telekinesis, put it back on again. I'm not even touching the nut and bolt this time. Yet it's still, as you can see, I can still undo the nut and bolt, hands off. Now some people have said it's something to do with that nut and bolt. So what I've got here, I've actually got a different nut and bolt, okay? Can't be nothing in that one, it's just a regular nut and bolt from the shop. And again, if I put that in my hands, you can see that when I put it in my hands, I can still, a bit harder with this one, but I can still turn the nut. If you see that, see it's turning? Start it off, there you go. Start the nut and bolt. These are a bit harder, brass is easier to work with, but I can still make the nut and bolt move on the bolt. So we'll try it again, okay? So there's the nut and bolt. As you can see, it's a little bit harder, but it's still turning. And as you can see, that one is not brass, it's just a normal nut and bolt. So I really can do telekinesis with the mind.
Right, from Roystow to...
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. I haven't been around for a long time. I've got a bar job and I have to work in the evening, so it's a bit difficult, but I've been popping in and watching you all, and I really enjoy the evenings of magic. Nice of you to have me back. I've just got a little bit of comedy magic in for to show you tonight, but if you all like to unmute, I'd like to join in as well, if that's okay. So if I give you a couple of seconds, just all unmute. That's it. And what I'm trying to do is tell you a story using some cards, but I want you to join in. If you can guess what the words are, please shout them out. Okay, so hopefully we're going to have a bit of fun. So I've got this. So this is a story about Francis. Okay, there's not many more to go, so don't worry about it. This is a story about Francis. And Francis went out one night. She went out to meet her boyfriend. His name was Mark. And after she met Mark, she said, "Would you like to come back to my den, Mark?" "No way," she said. "I wasn't Borneo yesterday."
Oh,
"You give me 5 minutes. Is that what you gave me?" He said, "Don't be so silly. Sorry." Francis said, "Don't worry. It's not your money I'm after, because Mark had just won the lottery and he bought a bit of land, and it wasn't a very wide bit of land. Actually, in fact, it was a little bit of a thin land." He turned to him and said, "After all, I'm a woman and you're a guy. I'm going to go from powder my nose. So she went off to powder her nose, and she was gone maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes, because after all, you couldn't brush her.
Oh.
Anyway, they went back to Francis's place, and she had a doorman, and she said, "Could you ring the bell, Jim,
Oh.
and just check that there's no one in?" And the voice come back, "Yes, you can't go in." So anyway, they got in, and they'd obviously been out all night, so they were feeling just a little bit hungry. So they perused around the kitchen, and they found something to eat. They found a turkey,
Ooh.
Oh.
which she'd actually bought that day in Iceland. Unfortunately, they couldn't eat the turkey because it was covered in grease.
Ooh.
Oh.
And Mark had an ulcer. So they sat down and they drank some more beer and some Canada Dry. And they sat down, they reminisced. And Francis turned to Mark and said, "Can you remember the party we went to where over October and you wore a Panama hat?"
Oh.
Suddenly, the air changed. Suddenly, I said, the air changed. And things become a little bit chilly. Oh, you're getting hungry now. I'm nearly finished. Mark turns to Francis and says, "Do you know what? I really adore you."
Adore you.
He got down on one knee and presented her with a ring. And in the ring, there was a little Estonia. "Oh man," she said, "we're going to get married. I can't believe how lucky I am." Well, they got married, and everything turned out just okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to be back.
Oh, that's a sort of record of how many mud puns you can fit into 3 minutes. Thanks very much. Our very good friend who's been missing in action for quite a while because he tried to do a world record in sword swallowing and actually hurt himself, but he's now back in the land of the living and rearing to show us what he can do. So over to Ollie. Hi there, Ollie.
Right. Can you hear me? Yeah.
We can.
Okay. I know Jill's here because I saw her earlier, but was it you that was asking about me on Facebook, Jill? Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. For you guys that didn't know, I did used to be here quite a lot, but for those that didn't know, the reason I haven't been is during October I actually hospitalised myself because, let's be honest, sticking swords down your throat, who would have known it was a dangerous thing? But we're going to do something. But a lot of people are now sitting there saying how COVID tests aren't very good, you know. Yeah, you run away. This one, he's had COVID recently, so he's a bit scared anytime I mention COVID. But this is how I did it. I did a test as well to make sure everyone was clear. And this is kind of what I did. I didn't use one of those swabs because they're a bit boring. But yeah. Jill, look, open your eyes. I was only the tip, okay? I didn't even get the whole thing in yet. But do you know what the best bit is, Jill? It actually spins. I love the taste of that at the end. So sorry, that was a bit grim. But the thing with it is that's only one spike. Does anybody know what's the next stage up?
2.
2. That's a bit boring. Anything else?
A sword, Ollie. One nail.
Unfortunately, I'm not quite ready for that just yet. However, I've got my assistant. He's going to help me out with something. Hello, Dose. But no, up from one spike, we've got a bed of nails.
That looks like 100.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Everyone says the same with the needles, they retract. How could you throw?
Pretty good.
Go on. So, yeah. Oh, God, I didn't throw that one. So, yeah. Unfortunately, as you can see, the hole, hopefully, the hole's within.
I didn't even chuck it.
So that's what happened with the penetration, but that's not the worst part. The worst part is this, the motion. Is, as you can see, it would lacerate open the back.
Wait.
Do you want to see the bed of nails, Jill? This is all for you now. You asked for it.
Yeah.
Don't lie, Jill. Yes, you do.
Oh, well.
Now, there is one other thing. A lot of people think that I wear something under my shirt to hide, to stop being penetrated, to pierce and stuff. To that I say, you really think that I spent years learning to do this? So, but just to convince you, I know it's not this kind of show, but just to make it a bit more real. Right. You ready?
I'm terrified.
On the stomach.
It's way too high up.
On the stomach. On the chest.
It's really high up.
Step up and over.
Could...
Up and over.
That was terrifying. Can these bike things on your back? I'm pretty sure
As
I
you
made
can
you.
probably see the divots within the back.
I'm pretty sure I made you bleed, Dolly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing as a nice welcome back for you, Jill. And for everyone else, have a good night.
Yeah, you're bleeding, Dolly.
Oh, just don't drink anything, Ollie, for a while till it's sort of healed up. Anyway, thank you very much, Ollie. It's great to see you back. It'll be nice to see you when you're back on the swords as well. That will be absolutely fantastic. So just got to say a very, very, very big thank you to Tommy Burnett, who's sitting there sweating over a keyboard and mouse, trying to run the back office because our normal director, Stuart Harley, has got stuck in London and is late and can't get in time. So thank you very much, Tommy. He's up next. So,
Hello.
all the way from New York City, the fantastic Tommy Burnett. Hello, Tommy.
Oh, hey. Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me again. I can't figure out if I want my glasses up or down. I guess down. Okay, there we go. And let's see if I actually back up again so I can see what I'm doing. Let's see if I can find someone. Yes, my dear friend Martin. Hello, Martin. Did you know I was going to call on you?
Hi, Tommy. How are you doing?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Living the dream.
Good to see you. Now, I don't know about you. I'm a little tired, and I know you know this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't drink very much, but I drink a little bit. This is a deck of cocktail cards, and they have like something like 52 different cocktails in here, and it's meant to be like a party game where you pick a drink and you drink it and you have fun. I honestly don't know too many people that would want to drink with me, so it's a moot point really. But I'm going to try and move my
I'll have a drink with you, Tommy, if you pay for the airfare.
I would love that one day, and hopefully either I'll come out to see you or you come out to see me. Either way, I would love that, yes. So let's take a look at what we have here. We have some, I guess they would be called marker cards, like you might have in a poker game. There's an aquamarine one, and we'll place that there. There's a red one, there's a brown one, and like a gold or yellow. Actually, let me see if I can widen this out. There we go, much better. Okay, so yeah, I should have started with that one. Now I'm going to take out I won't say it's a prediction, but let's call it a mystery drink, and we'll put that right over there for now. And what we're going to do, Martin, is I'm going to start dealing out cards like this, and you say stop whenever you want, and keep in mind that we're going to be doing this 4 times, and I only have a certain amount of cards, so...
Okay, stop after this one.
Okay, so this one,
Stop there.
great. And which one of the marker cards would you like to move over?
I'll go for yellow.
Yellow, okay? And so that pile is now out of play. So now we only have 3 piles.
Stop.
Okay, good. And would you like the turquoise, the red, or the brown card?
Brown this time.
Brown this time, okay? And now we only have 2 piles left.
Stop.
Okay? And would you like the red card or the turquoise?
Turquoise.
Okay. And again, now we only have 1 pile.
Stop.
Okay. And we'll place the rest on top and just kind of gather them up into a pile like so. Now I'm going to give you one more choice. I'm going to spread the cards out on the table and collect all the marker cards, but we're also going to collect 1 card next to that marker card. So would you like the card on the left or the card on the right?
The cards on the right, please.
Card on the right. Would that be my right or your right?
My right.
Okay, so your right. So we'll spread these cards out, and the card on your right will be this one here, this one here, this one here, and this one here, okay? And we'll gather these up, and let's see what drinks we came up with. We have, oh, my favorite, we have whiskey, okay, we have an Irish coffee, which isn't bad in the morning. I'm going to grill it, which I had for the first time the other day, and wasn't bad. It's a little sweet for me, but it wasn't bad. And I've never had an envy before, but that's oh wow, look at that. I just noticed, I wasn't expecting this. The drink matches the back of the card. There's a turquoise, red, brown, and gold. Interesting. Huh. All right, well, let's see what, okay. So on the back of this, it says one of the drinks will have coffee in it, and yes, it does. They have the Irish coffee. The brown one says two of the drinks will have fruit on them, and the Negroni has an orange peel, and the Envy has, it looks like a pineapple. If we turn over the red card, it says the first letter of each drink reveals the mystery drink. And so if we look at the first letter of each is W-I-N-E. Oh, wine, okay. And let's see how we did. Oh, nice. Look at that, it's wine, very good. And lastly, congratulations for staying alive. I'm assuming that what they mean by that is if you have a wine, a whiskey, an Irish coffee, and a Negroni and an Envy all in one night, you're probably lucky to survive. But I actually think it probably means something else because if you had chosen any other drink, it would have been poison. It would have been poison. It would have been poison.
Wow.
Poison. All of these happen to be poison. And I'll tell you, this is one of the hottest tricks I do. And do you know why? It's because it's fueled by Tabasco. Back to Kevin. And
Very good.
let's see if I can go back to Kevin. And there we go with Kevin. All right.
Great. Thanks very much, Tommy. Yeah, it's just down to me to finish the night off on a couple of little things. Just before I do the first little routine, Tommy, did you get my note about the second routine? Just checking in the private messaging, okay?
I didn't, but I will look at them now.
Have a look there now. And I need a helper. While you're looking at that, I will bring in, and I think, let's bring Jill in, because Jill is always good fun and always helpful. Hello, Jill.
Hello.
Nice to see you again.
And to see
Jill,
you.
going to do something with a card, would you believe? Well, with the pack cards. Now, normally I would give these a shuffle, but I've injured my finger and I can't shuffle at the moment. So, do they look fairly mixed up to you?
Pretty well.
Yeah. And what we will do is I will just start cutting and completing the cut, and you just tell me when to stop, and we'll do it in different points in the pack.
Stop.
Yeah. And finally, you're going to choose where the final cut is. So if I just go through slowly like this, you just say stop, and that's where we will cut it.
Stop.
There. So there's about 3 or 4 cards there. So we could cut it there. We could cut it there.
There.
We could cut it there. So where would you like it cut?
The one in the middle of those 3.
That one there.
That's the one.
That's where we're going to cut. Okay, absolutely fair.
Yeah.
So let's just see. The top 2 cards we're going to use. But before we do that, can you just look into my eyes? Let me just... I'll go down here so I can see. Oh, hang on. There we go. Done that. Jill, can you just look into my eyes? And 12. That's really strange, but for some reason, I just got the number 12 just came out the ether just as I was looking at you. So let's just have a look at these top 2 cards. Well, it's definitely not 12. We're going to use those top 2 to create a new card. So we've got Ace of Diamonds and the 4 of Clubs. So we could have the Ace of Clubs, or we could have the 4 of Diamonds. Which one would you like to create?
The 4 of Diamonds.
the 4 of diamonds. The 4 of diamonds. Jill, I said 12, didn't I?
You did.
Let's just have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 11. And the 12th card
Wow.
is the 4 of diamonds. If you'd gone any further, it could have been absolutely anything. So I don't know where that thought came from, Jill. It just appeared in my head when I looked at you. It's just one of those things. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Can you stay with me, Jill? And I've asked Tommy to bring in a few more people. Okay. Hi, guys. Oh,
This
I'm in the
would be
middle.
my
Brilliant.
dream night.
Hey.
This would be my dream date.
What I would like to attempt, because I've got an injured finger and manipulating cards and doing stuff with props is difficult for me, I'd like to do a card trick, but with no cards. So, and all of you are going to help me with this, hopefully, and just see if this works. So I'm going to try a little routine, and I'm going to try and intuit the card you are thinking of. So, Jill, David, Martin, and the Alex, just think of any card you like in the pack, any card you like. So you'll go, hopefully you'll all come up with a different card. Maybe you'll come up with the same card, we just don't know. So we've got 4 non-existent packs of cards, and all of you have created or thought of one card out of that pack. Now just burn that into your head so you don't forget it. It's really important, because of course if by the end of this, if you've forgotten it, it's not very good. So now have a look at that card and take the value of the card, and remember, so that obviously ace to 10 is the face value of it. Jack is 11, queen is 12, king is 13. Okay, so you've got a value for your card now, apart from its face, what it says on the face. Now,
are you saying, Kevin, that I can't choose Bruce's Joker?
You cannot choose a bloody Joker.
You'll have to edit that out now. Okay, I've got another one. I've got another one.
Typical. David, I knew if anyone was to choose a Joker, it had to be David Minton.
Yeah, I've got one.
You got a card. Okay, that's not a Joker.
It's not a Joker.
Okay, so take this in this. It's an imaginary deck, and you're going to cut it like I did just now with the other deck. We're going to cut the deck, and because we've cut the deck in half, we've got 2 decks now, 2 little decks. So we'll multiply your card value by 2. So if it's a 2, it becomes 4. If it's 4, it becomes 8. If it's a Jack, it becomes 22. Yeah, got that? Now we're going to randomize it a little bit. So whatever your number is, add 1. So if you started with an even number, you got an odd. If you started with an odd, you got an even. So say you started with 4, 8, and you would have 9. Okay. Now, the most popular gambling poker game, I believe, in the world now is Texas Hold'em. But before the days of Texas Hold'em, everyone used to pay 5-card stud. Okay, so imagine you've now got to deal this pack into 5 piles. So to do that, you're going to multiply your number by 5. Now, if you're not very good at maths, what you could do is multiply by 10 and divide by 2. That's the easy way to multiply by 5.
Poor Martin hasn't played stud before, you see.
You can use a calculator as well if you want.
Here's the stud.
Ba-boom!
Okay, so let me just sort of backtrack here. You thought of a card, you doubled it, added 1, and now multiplied by 5, okay?
Yeah.
So you've got a new number in your head.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't know. You all got different numbers, or maybe some of you might have the same, but you've all got different numbers. No way I can know those numbers that are in your head. Finally, the suit of the card, we're going to give that a value and add it to your last number. So let's think. If it's a spade, add...
Jill's getting a headache.
Right?
Jill's getting a headache.
Jill's good at maths, I know.
But she's been drinking Prosecco outside all day.
So if it's a spade, let's add 9. So if you've got a spade, if you're thinking of a spade, add 9 to that last number. If you're thinking of a club, add 6 to that number. If you're thinking of a heart, add 8 to that number. And if you're thinking of a diamond, we've done 7 to that number. Okay, so let me just try and recap what I said. I think I said spade 9, club 6, heart 8, diamond 7, yeah? So you've all got another new number in your head.
I should have stuck with the Joker.
You should have stuck with the Joker, yeah. So have you all got this number in your head?
Yeah.
Okay. David, and do you remember what your original card was before we went through all the shenanigans?
I do, yeah.
And there's no way I can know that number or the originating card. So David, what's your number?
81.
81. 81.
Yeah.
81. 7 of clubs, David.
It was the 7 of clubs.
Martin,
Yeah.
what's your number?
93.
93.
David
93.
Tage.
8 of hearts.
That's right, yeah.
Yep. Lee Alex.
If I've done this right, 53.
Sorry?
53, if I've done it right.
53.
Yeah.
53, that is the 4 of diamonds.
Right.
Right, I don't know, but I was close.
Maybe I did it wrong.
It was a 4, was it?
It was a 4, it was definitely the 4.
I've got half of it. This is not easy, juggling all these numbers and thinking, Jill, what was your number that you ended up with?
123.
Oh, you would do something like that, wouldn't you? 123. So that's probably the Jack of Hearts?
It is the Jack of Hearts.
Jack of Hearts. Terrific. Thank you very much, everybody.
Very good.
That's all we've got time for tonight. Thank you to our performers tonight. He said, we usually have it up on the screen because the screen crashed. I will read it off a bit of paper. But thanks to David, Jill, Martin, and Alex for helping me with a little bit of stuff. Thank you to everyone who's been watching us live on Zoom in the gallery. Thank you to everybody watching on Facebook Live. Thanks to everybody who will be watching on YouTube in the near future. And thank you to our performers, Michael Kelly, Andy Russell, Robina, Bruce Yoskin, Roy Stone, Oli, Alcatraz Oli, David Pattenden, Tommy Burnett. And thank you, Tommy, for handling the back office and keeping everything ticking over. And me, myself, and I to finish the night up on. Thank you, everybody. And good night, and good night to everybody on Facebook. Bye, Facebook.
Thank you for another lovely show.